What's going on? Ellis in the building, and I represent Sensory Overload. And today, I have 5 fragrances for you, inspired by the house of Initio Parfums. All right, Initio Parfum is going to be a nice niche company. When you think of niche fragrances, Creeds, your Parfums de Marley, okay? That's their wheelhouse. So, Initio has some heat, Ooh for greatness, side effect, rehab. Like they have some bangers that kind of go under the radar, right? So, my goal today is to kind of introduce you to the clones or to inspire you to get your nose on the real deal. But regardless, scent profiles what I care about and what I want you to, experience and get your feedback on as well. So with that being said, the first one we're going to dive into, inspired by Initio Parfum Musk Therapy, is Dua Therapy. Dua Therapy. So with this fragrance, musk, white musk, black currant, bergamot, mandarin orange. You have some white sandalwood in here, okay? Got some magnolia and hedione. And if you don't know, hedione is a amplifier for the notes in this fragrance. So that's what it does. And I think that's such a cool note that it helps make those other ones more prominent and stand out. Just boost them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? With this fragrance here, you're definitely going to get a woody, floral, and definitely musky fragrance for sure, right? It's in the name. In the air, you do get the citrus aspect. You do get the muskiness. You do get the floral. But this is also a nice, soft, clean smelling fragrance. This is a unisex fragrance. And personally, I think it may lean a little more feminine. Nonetheless, it is unisex. Me, I would wear this chilling. This is giving me a relaxed vibe, okay? Because it does have like a little soothing aspect to it. It isn't loud. It isn't attention grabbing. It's really just like a chill, calm fragrance, all right? So I wouldn't wear this out in no like party, clubbing, bar hopping environment. This doesn't scream, wear this. Now, this is more of a chill vibe. I've worked with my lady, like we go over to play some Uno, you know what I mean? Or doing game night or something like that. That's kind of the vibe I get. Cleaning around the house. Because sometimes I just like to spray a fragrance on after I hop out the shower. I'm about to do something within the crib. Just to get the experience, right? Just so my collection isn't just there for no reason. Like you gotta wear your stuff, you know what I mean? So that's what I do with it, and that's how we'll use it. I think that's a good, clean, fresh, musky scent. So remember, Duos therapy or initial musk therapy. Woody, floral, musky, soft, citrus. On to the next. Number 2. All right, so number 2 is inspired by Initio Parfums Psychedelic Love. That name is low-key fire. I like that name, all right? That's an interesting name. It makes me want to know what that fragrance is going to smell like, you dig? So, what Dua they called it Aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiac. So you gotta have bergamot, yingling, Bulgarian rose, heliotrope, hedione, sandalwood, myrrh, and patchouli in here, okay? This fragrance here, look at this color. That's a beautiful color right there. This fragrance is considered floral, but it's not floral to the point where it just like smells like this feminine old lady fragrance. It's not that at all. Hypnotic, alluring, sweet, because that heliotrope has an almond sweetiness that it gives, like sweetness that it gives, but floral, sweet, alluring, seductive, sexy, evening wear, date night vibes, Netflix and chill. You know the deal. That's what this fragrance is for, okay? I'm not rocking this at the office. I'm literally just rocking it when I'm trying to chill with my lady, spend time with her, evening, date night. I think that's where you will find that this is the star of the show. Also, cool weather. If you cared about that seasons type of vibe, fall, this is gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a hit in the fall time, okay? Honestly, this is a date night fragrance that's under the radar. So, inspired by psychedelic love, we got Aphrodisiac. Number 3. So number 3, inspired by Initio Parfum, Oud for Greatness. I have for you shadow play. Shadow play. Saffron, nutmeg, lavender, argarwood, patchouli, and musk. Okay? This fragrance here, it's gonna have a nice bit of an aromatic freshness with it in the opening because of that lavender note. All right. So a bit fresh in the opening. You smell the saffron and the nutmeg as well. So fresh, spicy, right? This fragrance here, I think, is a good introduction into the oud space because oud, as you've heard, may have heard or have not heard, it can smell like barnyard, fecal, like ooh, you know what I mean? I've been in the Middle East, um, and oud is so prominent there. Like that was like so. That was when I used to walk through the malls. You know what I mean? That's more so what they were pushing was the oud fragrances, and you just will see that there's variations of how this scent is presented. Okay, and oud isn't cheap. I mean, some of these like this OG will run you over $300 easily. All right, and that's not even the most expensive oud fragrance that you could get. So just saying, this is a good introduction. Isn't very offensive. Has depth. Has some complexities to it. I've gotten compliments wearing this fragrance. I'm not gonna lie to you. Personally, my comfort level with wearing oud it's I'm growing, right? So that's part of my journey. I'm big into the freshies, the mass appealers, you know what I mean? But I found that I wanted to step out of my box. I wanted to try something a bit more challenging for me personally, right? The shadow play was one of the steps I took. I had this for a while. You can see the OG duo because it got the plastic top there. However, if you want to step in the space of ouds, check this out, all right? Date night fragrance. I wore it to the office once, and that's where I got the compliment at actually. However, this isn't my go-to office fragrance. I think I want something a little more fresh, a little more citrus based. But date night, you know what I mean, is that vibe for me. Hookah lounge, you know what I'm saying? Cigar lounge vibes. I wouldn't wear this to the club, but definitely like a more chill vibe. I think this will definitely set it off. Beast mode has a lot of longevity and gray sillage. It's worth getting your nose on, whereas oud for greatness or shadow play, check it out. Number 4. All right, number 4 is inspired by Initio Parfum Side Effect. And this one right here doesn't have a lot of notes, but you will see that in this scenario, less is more. What I have for you here is Collateral Damage. Collateral Damage. Rum, cinnamon, got some tobacco, got some vanilla in here, okay? You're gonna find that it's sweet, spicy, may lean a little gourmand, but overall, you're gonna get the booziness, the vanilla. You smell the tobacco, you smell the cinnamon. What's unique about this fragrance is that you smell the individual notes. They're blended very well together and they really work harmoniously together. All right. With this fragrance here, I like it for the cool weather, date night, hookah lounge, cigar lounge. That's kind of where I see myself rocking this. You know what I mean? Overall, beast mode fragrance, great sillage. All right. It's going to be great sillage. And it does smell good on the skin. If you're a big fan of the booziness and the vanilla, check this out, all right? Isn't too complex. Kind of what you smell is what you're getting, all right? So I'm not saying it's linear. It may transition a little bit, but what you smell is what you're getting. If you like what you smell, then you can work with this. So whether it's initial side effect or collateral damage, I recommend checking it out. Last but not least, what I have for you, inspired by Initio Parfum Rehab, I have Action Nova. Action Nova. So you have bergamot, lavender, you'll have guaiac wood, sandalwood, cedarwood, vetiver, and patchouli. So this is going to be a woody fragrance, all right? The opening is going to be bright because of that lavender and bergamot, okay? So it does make it aromatic, lively in the opening, and a bit freshness there as well. Those woody notes linger throughout the whole experience of the fragrance, all right? So you're going to get a bit of the creaminess from the sandalwood. You're also going to get a little bit of smoky nuances from the guaiac wood. However, the fragrance still works well. Okay, it has some sophistication, a little sprinkle, you know what I'm saying? There's some elegance in there as well. Springtime, and for sure, perfect for the fall weather, okay? I more so like it for the fall. Springtime, if it's one of those hotter spring days, don't select this. But when it's like a more cool spring days, like the 60s and under, this could work, all right? That makes sense. So, I'll give you 5 fragrances from the House of Dua, but they were inspired by Initio Parfums. Initio is worth checking out. It's an underrated brand that has some gems, all right? And if you're not trying to, you know what I mean, pay $300 for Ooh for Greatness, but want to get the 5 that I mentioned for under that amount, be my guest, you know what I mean? However, check them out. The clones, the real deal, is worth your attention if you're into the fragrances like I am, all right? So make sure you smell your best and you stay blessed, all right? Appreciate you watching. Peace.